Audiobook Memoirs of a Doctor, Chapter 6, Part 6, Ivory Tower, London, and Teluk Intan. He knew enough of the world to know that there is nothing in it better than the faithful services. He knew enough of the world to know that there is nothing in it better than the faithful service of the heart. A Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickens. In 1981, after completing my tour of duty with the armed forces in Labuan, I hung up my captain title and returned to a civilian life, working in the University Hospital Kuala Lumpur as a medical officer on contract for 2 years. I joined the Department of Internal Medicine. By this time, after 2 years of honeymoon away from academic medicine, I was already quite rusty and outdated. It took me a little while to get back into the rhythm once again, but with proper guidance and a suitable environment, everything fell into place once more, expanding my horizon. Working in a teaching hospital was a prerequisite for postgraduate training and accreditation in internal medicine. The medical library here was fully equipped. Here I had the privilege to see a large variety of cases, the opportunity for case presentations, research, and even publish articles in local, regional, and international peer-reviewed medical journals. I was interested in cardiology and neurology and was very close to the professors of cardiology and neurology. I was their blue-eye boy, so to speak. Meanwhile, my wife was posted to a government dental clinic in Jalan Bangsa, Kuala Lumpur. We stayed in a rented house in Taman Seputeh. During this time, our first son was born in the university hospital. My parents came to live with us to help look after our son. Besides medical practice, we also attended the First Baptist Church in Taman Jaya, Petaling Jaya. The senior pastor there was a very godly man who gave great life-changing sermons with altar calls every Sunday. Enter London. After 2 years in the university hospital, I left Kuala Lumpur for London to sit for my MRCP Part 2 Internal Medicine Specialist Examination. I managed to get a job in St. Giles Hospital as a locum senior house officer with accommodation provided in the hospital. This gave me a source of income, but the taxation rate in the United Kingdom was very high. So the take-home pay was much lower. Nevertheless, this allowed me the opportunity to acclimatize and be exposed to different clinical practice scenarios in the United Kingdom, which was quite different from Malaysia. On weekends, I used to visit a relative who lived in London. I also took the opportunity to visit all the different tourist attractions in and around London, and also made day trips organized by the hospital staff to a border town in France, experiencing Romans 8-8. The MRCP Part 2 examination was divided into 2 parts, the theory module and the practical module, which were held several weeks apart. A candidate had to pass the theory module first before he was allowed to proceed to the practical module. Unfortunately, at that time, there was a trade war between the Malaysian and the British government. Malaysia had just instituted the Buy British Last policy. Due to this, the failure rate among Malaysian candidates sitting for the MRCP UK was much higher than usual. Thank God I was able to make it through the theory module and the practical module on my first attempt and was awarded the MRCP UK diploma. God was working behind the scene to help me through the circumstances. of my life. I claim the promise of God's word in Romans 8:8. And we know that all things work together for good for those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. Quote unquote. Return to Malaysia. In 1983, after returning from London, I was posted to General Hospital Kuala Lumpur as a physician. Unfortunately, I was very unhappy in the General Hospital Kuala Lumpur. I was bullied by the senior physician and other colleagues in the Department of Medicine. The senior physician seemed to have a racist tendency and found fault in everything that I did or tried to do. Eventually, unable to tolerate the abuses any longer, I resigned from government service and started a private practice in a rural town called Kuala Kubu Baru in Selangor. My wife also followed me by getting a job as a government dental surgeon in Kuala Kubu Baru, or we call it KKB. Life in KKB. Life was more relaxed in KKB as it was a rural town on the foothills of Fraser's Hill, away from the hustle and bustle of the big city, Kuala Lumpur. I practiced as a general practitioner, treating only outpatients. We attended the Gospel Hall in KKB. The pastor was a good friend of ours, someone whom we know before reconnecting here in KKB. We attended his weekly Bible studies and weekly Sunday services. My wife and I were baptized in the Gospel Hall in KKB. By now, our second son was born, and we were now a family of 4. My parents also moved in to live with us to help look after the children. We live in a rented house in KKB. My sons were very blessed to have their grandpa and grandma look after them. My parents loved their 2 grandsons very much. Back to Teluk Intan. In 1984, I moved back from KKB to Teluk Intan to work as a physician in a specialist center with outpatient and inpatient facilities. My wife also followed me from KKB and worked in a government dental clinic in Teluk Intan. Here we finally bought our first house in Teluk Intan, which was within walking distance to the specialist center. My parents also moved over and lived with us in Teluk Intan. Connection to the church. Everywhere we moved, we joined a local church where we could serve, grow, and fellowship with the congregation. We worship in Wesley Methodist Church, Teluk Intan. The pastor was a very godly man who gave life-transforming sermons every Sunday. We regularly attended his weekly Sunday services and the weekly Bible studies. Rededication to Christ. In 1985, during the Christmas dinner organized by the Wesley Methodist Church, the pastor gave a message which spoke directly to my heart. After the message, he gave an altar call, invited those who wanted to rededicate their lives to Christ to come forward to be prayed for. I responded to the altar call and went forward, and the pastor prayed for me. Since then, my spiritual life was revived, and I began to have a thirst for more of God's presence in my life. I started to read and study the Bible on my own with great earnestness and intensity. In Wesley Methodist Church, I participated in the Navigator 2:7 Bible Study series. This was a weekly Bible study over 6 months. The highlight of this Bible study was memorizing Bible verses. We were given a large number of Bible verses printed onto small cards. By repeating these verses many times a day and using the cards as memory aids, we could memorize all the verses. Even until today, I can still remember and recite these verses correctly. The Caleb group. and Full Gospel Businessman Fellowship International. With another group, I also started a weekly fasting and prayer meeting in my house. We call ourselves the Caleb Group. Caleb Group. We fasted over breakfast and lunch before coming together for corporate worship and prayer at 7:30 p.m. At the end of the worship and prayer meeting, we break our fast and have dinner in my house. This went for almost a year, and after that we decided to stop. During this particular year, I saw so many breakthroughs in my life and in the church. I was also active as a committee member of the Full Gospel Businessman Fellowship International Ipoh chapter. We organized weekly lunch meeting and monthly dinner meetings. We invited non-Christian friends to listen to prominent Christian professionals sharing their evangelistic testimonies, followed by lunch or dinner. Those who responded to the altar call were directed to the local churches for follow-up and discipleship. My parents, truly a blessing. We were blessed to have my parents live with us to look after the children when we were out working. Without them, it would have been impossible for us to cope. We also had Indonesian maids to help out with domestic assistance. They were on contract with us for 2 years. Just when our children got used to one maid, the 2 years was up and it was time for goodbyes. Our children were very close to their grandparents. Both my parents became Christians through our influence. They had both passed on to be with the Lord due to old age. As much as I miss them, I know that one day we will be reunited again in heaven.